Taytu Betul, the strategist behind an African victory. The queen who helped defeat a European empire. The Italian officers are smiling. On paper, the battle is already over. Their army is modern. Their rifles are newer. Their officers are confident. Europe has conquered kingdom after kingdom across Africa. Why should this one be different? Across the valley, another army waits. Thousands of Ethiopian warriors, nobles, horsemen, farmers who have become soldiers. Standing among them is not only an emperor, but a queen. Her name is Taytu Betul. The Italians see an empress. History will remember a strategist, because before this day is over, one of Europe's strongest colonial armies will suffer one of its greatest defeats, and Queen Taytu will help make it happen. You can almost feel the crisp mountain air of the Ethiopian highlands, steep cliffs, rolling plateaus, ancient churches carved into stone, trade caravans winding across rugged valleys. This is not an easy land to conquer. Its mountains protect it. Its people know every trail, every river, every hidden pass. For centuries, the Ethiopian empire has survived while kingdoms around it rise and fall. Into this remarkable world, Taytu is born around 1851. From childhood, she learns something unusual. Power is never permanent. Families rise, families fall. Every alliance matters. Every marriage changes politics. Unlike many noble girls of her time, Taytu refuses to remain silent. She studies, she debates, she watches the great families compete for influence. Very quickly, one thing becomes obvious. She possesses an extraordinary memory and an even sharper tongue. People learn not to underestimate her. Many try anyway. They usually regret it. Eventually, her path crosses with a rising noble named Menelik II. He is ambitious, patient, determined to unite Ethiopia under strong leadership. Taytu sees something in him. He sees something in her. Their marriage becomes far more than a royal union. It becomes a political partnership, one of the strongest in African history. While Menelik leads armies, Taytu shapes policy. She advises, negotiates, challenges, sometimes disagrees openly. The emperor listens, because he understands something many rulers never do. Surround yourself with people willing to tell you when you're wrong. Taytu does exactly that, again and again. Soon the two begin transforming Ethiopia, strengthening alliances, expanding influence, modernizing carefully while protecting independence. Then Europe arrives. The late 19th century becomes known as the scramble for Africa. European empires divide nearly an entire continent. Britain, France, Germany, Belgium, Portugal, Italy. Maps are redrawn in distant capitals. Borders created by rulers who have never seen the lands they claim. Many African kingdoms fall, one after another. Italy believes Ethiopia will be next. A treaty is signed, then translated, and suddenly something feels wrong. The Italian version claims Ethiopia has become an Italian protectorate. The Ethiopian version says no such thing. One sentence, two translations, completely different meanings. Most governments might negotiate. Taytu refuses. She studies the documents herself, reads every line, then declares the treaty unacceptable. Her warning is unmistakable. Never surrender Ethiopia's independence. Not for money, not for promises, not for peace. If Italy wants an empire, it will have to fight for it. The Italians accept the challenge. Armies begin moving across the mountains toward a place called Battle of Adwa. There, Taytu Betul will prove that one queen's determination can change the course of an entire continent. Right as the armies march toward the mountains of Adwa, because next, Queen Taytu helps prepare one of the greatest military victories in African history and teaches Europe that Ethiopia will never be conquered easily. The tension grows with every passing day. Messengers ride through the Ethiopian highlands. Village after village answers the call. Farmers leave their fields. Blacksmiths work through the night. Priests bless soldiers before they begin the march. Across the empire, one message spreads. Ethiopia will fight, not because it wants war, because it refuses chains. You can almost hear the valleys filling with thousands of voices. War drums echo across the mountains. Campfires appear on distant hillsides. Entire communities begin supplying the army. Food, water, pack animals, weapons. No one waits for someone else to save them. They understand exactly what is at stake: their freedom. At the center of this enormous effort stands Taytu Betul, not hidden safely inside a palace, not watching from afar. She is in the field, organizing supplies, inspecting camps, speaking directly with commanders. She understands something every great strategist knows. An army does not march on courage alone. It marches on food, on clean water, on preparation. Without those, even the bravest soldiers lose. Taytu refuses to let that happen. Meanwhile, the Italian commanders remain confident. They possess modern rifles, artillery, machine guns, European military training. Many officers believe victory is inevitable. They have made one fatal mistake. They have confused better equipment with better understanding. They know maps. The Ethiopians know the mountains. That difference is enormous. The invading army struggles through unfamiliar terrain, steep cliffs, rocky passes, thin mountain air, long supply lines stretching farther every day. The deeper they advance, the more vulnerable they become. Taytu watches patiently. She never underestimates the enemy, but she knows the land itself is fighting beside her. Then comes dawn on Battle of Adwa, one of the most important mornings in African history. The mountains seem alive. Thousands upon thousands of Ethiopian soldiers fill the hills. War banners flutter in the wind. Priests walk among the ranks offering prayers. The atmosphere is solemn, determined. This is not simply a battle, it is a fight for a nation's future. As the fighting begins, chaos spreads quickly. Smoke covers the valleys. Gunfire echoes from every direction. Horsemen charge over rocky ground. Infantry climbs impossible slopes. Italian formations begin breaking apart. Their commanders struggle to understand what is happening. The Ethiopian forces appear everywhere at once, moving quickly, communicating across familiar ground, using the landscape itself as an ally. Throughout the battle, Taytu remains active. She helps direct logistics, encourages exhausted troops, coordinates support behind the front lines. Some accounts describe her personally leading groups that carried water and supplies to soldiers under fire. Others remember her determination inspiring those around her. Whether commanding strategy or sustaining morale, her presence is unmistakable. Hour after hour, the balance shifts. Italian confidence turns into confusion. Confusion becomes retreat. Retreat becomes disaster. The impossible begins unfolding before the eyes of Europe. An African empire, not merely resisting colonization, but defeating a modern European army in open battle. The victory sends shockwaves around the world. For European empires, Adwa becomes an uncomfortable lesson. For Ethiopia, it becomes a symbol, a declaration, a reminder that independence can be defended. And standing beside Emperor Menelik II, Queen Taytu has helped make history. Yet her greatest achievements may still lie ahead. Because winning a battle is extraordinary, building a stronger nation afterward, that is the work of a remarkable ruler. The victory at Adwa changes everything, not only for Ethiopia, for the entire world. News spreads across Europe with astonishing speed. Newspapers struggle to explain it. How could a European army lose? How could an African empire defeat one of the continent's modern powers? Many readers simply refuse to believe the reports, yet the facts are impossible to ignore. Italy has been defeated, decisively, and Ethiopia remains free. You can almost feel the pride sweeping across the empire. Church bells ring, families welcome soldiers home. Songs are written about the victory. Children grow up hearing the story of Adwa, not as legend, as history. For Taytu Betul, however, celebration is only the beginning. Winning a war is never enough. Peace must be protected. The country must be strengthened. The future must be secured. That has always been her way. While others celebrate victories, she begins planning what comes next. One of her greatest dreams is a permanent capital worthy of a powerful nation. At the time, the imperial court often moves from place to place. Taytu wants something lasting. She discovers a beautiful area filled with natural hot springs. High in the mountains, cool air, fresh water, rolling hills stretching toward the horizon. She immediately recognizes its potential. The place becomes known as Addis Ababa, New Flower. The name itself feels hopeful, a new beginning, a growing nation. Together with Emperor Menelik II, Taytu helps establish what will become Ethiopia's capital. Today, millions of people live there. Government, commerce, universities, diplomacy. One queen's vision grows into one of Africa's great cities. That achievement alone would secure her place in history. Yet Taytu continues shaping the nation in countless quieter ways. She encourages Ethiopian traditions, supports the Ethiopian Orthodox Church, defends the country's independence against foreign pressure. Again and again, European diplomats attempt to gain influence. Again and again, Taytu remains cautious. She has learned an unforgettable lesson. Treaties can hide traps. Promises can conceal ambitions. Freedom requires vigilance. Some foreign officials describe her as stubborn. Others call her uncompromising. From Taytu's perspective, those are compliments. She has seen exactly what happens to countries that trust too easily. As the years pass, Emperor Menelik's health begins to decline. Once again, the empire looks toward Taytu. She helps guide affairs during difficult years. Not everyone welcomes her influence. Powerful nobles begin competing once more. Political struggles return. The work of holding an empire together never truly ends. Eventually, younger leaders assume greater authority. Taytu gradually steps away from public life. But no one can erase what she accomplished. Think about her legacy. She stood beside an emperor, yet never disappeared behind him. She advised, negotiated, organized, inspired, helped defeat a European invasion, helped preserve one of Africa's oldest independent kingdoms, helped establish the nation's capital. Few queens anywhere in the world can claim so much. Today, the Battle of Adwa remains a symbol far beyond Ethiopia, across Africa, throughout the African diaspora. It represents something larger than military victory. It represents possibility. Proof that colonial conquest was not inevitable. Proof that determination, leadership, and unity could change history. And standing at the heart of that story is Queen Taytu Betul, a strategist, a diplomat, a nation builder, a woman who refused to believe that powerful empires always win. So we leave Taytu here, standing on the Ethiopian highlands, the mountains stretching behind her, the city of Addis Ababa beginning to rise before her, the future of an independent nation taking shape, and the queen who helped protect it, looking toward the horizon, with the quiet confidence of someone who knew freedom was worth every sacrifice. If this story stayed with you, if you felt the courage of a nation determined to remain free, and the brilliance of a queen who helped make that possible, don't stop here. There are more women like Taytu, women who defended their people with wisdom, strategy, and unshakable resolve. Women whose victories reshaped history long after the battles were over. Stay dangerous, stay loud, and never let them hold the pen.